Okay, guys. Um, Today we'll start. Yesterday we stopped after the discussion without starting any project. We yesterday closed. So yesterday I searched for that. The causing of issue is it is of some serialization ID was missing, but actually that is not required for all the components. But after adding up that one, it got resolved that issue. Okay. Now anyhow, today we'll start again that. Let me create it. So first we'll start off any project. So guys, what I'm doing is, so it is not possible to add up all the project files inside the document. So that is the reason what I can do is, along with this document, I will send one zip file also as a projects. Okay guys, you can unzip it and then you can run and you can import that and then you can install. Is it okay guys?
Okay, sir.
So all files is not possible to add in the document. Okay, so that's what I will give off a zip file all projects, so that you can import that project in the Eclipse and then you can run. You can create new projects by seeing that. Okay, that's what you people can do. Now next, today, yeah, let me start. Today what I can do, what I'm going to do. So yesterday we have seen of what is servlet. So okay, what is the life cycle methods of servlet? What is the life cycle methods of servlet, guys? Three methods are there. What is the methods?
Initial
Sorry.
Service.
in
Yes.
Service.
service
That's what.
destroy.
Yes, init, service, and destroy. So mainly these three methods you need to remember. Servlet life cycle means compulsory. These three methods you need to tell that. Okay. Now let me create one dynamic web project. Okay. And close it and close it and let me close it all. Yeah. So the first thing is, you need to go to file, new, and dynamic web project. Okay, give some name as web application, web app servlet something. Now, so after that you need to select of which Tomcat server you are going to run this application, web application. And this is of dynamic web module version. This is of right now we are using of 3 version 3.1. And rest of the things you can ignore it. Okay, and click on next, and you need to select of the last one, generate web.xml file. It will generate, if you are not selecting, it will not generate that web.xml file. So that is very important for our web applications. Compulsory we need of this web.xml file, otherwise the project will not run. Now after selecting that checkbox, just click on finish. Okay, it will select one project. Now let's see. So this is the structure of project that will come. It will generated on a .xml file, and then some folder structure, project structure, it is created. Now our work is, we need to start off creating our files. Okay, before that, simply first we will write one HTML file whether the project is running or not. Okay, first we'll see that. Let me, all JSP files or HTML files, we need to create under web content. In web content, we need to create that files. Okay, let me create new on HTML. Okay, create of some HTML, anything, index.html or some HTML, create it one, any file. Okay, so just now it is giving up some, just write some message, welcome to servlets, just some message. I want to see this message once my project is running. So what I'm giving, index.html, I want to run whenever my project is running. Defaultly I want to run that. So as part of a web.xml file, as part of a web.xml file, we need to include this file under welcome file list. Under welcome file list, let's remove, these are all generated one, remove all of them. And what is my index file? Index.html. At the time of opening and deploying my application, defaultly open this page for me. Okay, now after that, now just to right click on the project. Okay, go to run as. And normally for core Java applications we will run as a Java application, right? Now in this case we want to run this application in server, in web server. I want to run this application. Okay, now click on server. So once we are installing the Tomcat, and then we are selected the target runtime as Tomcat 9 at the time of project creation, right? So we need to select that and then click on next. And what is the project name? Web hyphen servlet. Last one, web hyphen servlet is added. Okay, now click on finish. See, now defaultly localhost 1234 web hyphen app, web app hyphen servlet, this is our project name, right? So after that, if you are giving default it is running, we no need to mention anything. Even though if you are giving index dot html also, it will execute same thing. Okay, but by default I am given the welcome file, this is index.xml file, so that no need to add in the url list, directly it will execute that. Okay, now instead of that I want to write some action. Okay, I want to write some actions. So let's create a one servlet. Okay, any servlet, control n class. Okay, go to here. Now write it some any servlet name, or first servlet, or let's say yesterday whatever we have seen na login servlet. Okay, we'll see that only. Now click on finish. Okay, it is created the file. So but without some package is not there, so but package is best way to write it. Okay, com.ibc. Okay, now move that file to com.ibc. Okay, now so this is servlet name I created, but to get the actual servlet behavior we need to extend either HTTP servlet or generic servlet. Okay, we need of some HTTP servlet or generic servlet, we need to extend to get our servlet as to behave as like a servlet. Okay, now so it is giving some error. So it is a abstract class, compulsory there is one abstract method is there. So for that we need to provide implementation. The method is service method. Just click on add unimplemented methods. Click on add unimplemented methods. Automatically that method will come here. Okay, now it is a servlet request and it is of servlet response. Okay, these are some common classes used in servlet API: servlet request, servlet response, generic servlet, servlet. Okay, HTTP servlet, these are some servlet config, these are some common classes we will use. Okay, now after this, so what is my requirement is I will write off some HTML code. Okay, yesterday whatever we are seeing, let's write it one. Now what is that? HTML, right? HTML, write some HTML file. Okay, login data HTML, next it and finish it. Okay, so I'll write up some whenever I am entering username and password, I want to execute of some servlet. I want to do some validation. Okay, how to write a form means just we have a form tag. Okay, this is HTML guys. Okay, not Java. Now we need to give off some action. So on click on button, I want to perform this action. Okay, now as part of this form, I'm giving username and input type, equal text, and the name equal to username. Okay, next br tag break means it will go for a next line. Okay, next password, input type, just two fields I'm adding. Okay, we'll play around on this. So normally password should display as stars, right? If your type is giving as passwords, then the whatever you are entering in the password field, it will show as dots, not values. If you are leaving as text means, then the password will, we can see that password. Okay, now let's see. After that maybe we can remove that. Okay, after that I want to one button input type, type equal to submit, for buttons submit, and the value of that is I'm giving some sign in, or sign in. Okay, let's, now I want to run this application. Now let's run it, run on server. I'll finish it, restart it. It is coming of login.html, right or not? Now we'll see why login dot, we got of login.html, right? Now we will do, what we can do is we can enter that username and password. Okay, let's enter username and password, some username. If I'm giving here, so here we are seeing the password manually, right? So but if I don't want to allow to see that, then change it to password here. The type should be password means, then internally it will understood that, and then it will not show that password in the whatever you are entering here. Let's refresh it. Now type something, it is showing, it will not allow to see that user. Okay, and click on this button. So it is saying that there is no servlet mapping is available. Okay, there is no mapping is available here. So for that, what we need to do means, so when I click on this submit button, so I want to perform a login action. Okay, so we need to configure this login action in web.xml file. In web.xml file, let's see how to configure that. Okay, now first tag is, you need to remember servlet tag. Okay, after that inside the servlet tag, we have a tag called servlet name. We need to give one name to our servlet, whatever the servlet you are going to execute for that action, we need to give some name. Okay, let's say give up some test. Okay, name is test, and for which servlet class you want to give this name, for which servlet class you want to register with this name means, need to give com dot ibc dot, what is our class, servlet class, login servlet, right? We need to copy paste this class name and go to web.xml file. Okay, give that, this is my servlet is added. So when you want to execute this servlet, when we need to execute this servlet means, we need to give some mapping. We'll call that as a servlet mapping. We'll call it as a servlet mapping. For that, I need to use of same tag, whatever is there in the servlet, use it in the servlet mapping. Along with that, when do you need that need to execute that Servlet means whenever any slash login is there, then what internally container will check. So what is the name of the servlet? Whenever any, what is our action? Here login is there, right? It will check, container will check in the web.xml file. Is there any URL pattern contains of login? Is there any URL pattern contains of servlet mapping with URL pattern contains of login? Then it will check if it any identified that URL pattern, then it will take the name of that servlet. It will take the name of the servlet and it will search for is there any servlet tag, is there any servlet tag with the same servlet name? If it is available, then it will execute that login servlet class. Okay, it will execute this login servlet class. By default, if we are extending generic servlet, always servlet method, service method will execute. Okay, always service method will execute. Now let's write it. I'll explain more on this, guys. Response dot get, what is the re, yes, rep. Okay, response is the best one. Resp. It is all mapping, guys. Okay, compulsory. We need to keep the relation between all the files. Okay, then only it will work out. So what I want to do now? Okay, in the login.html, what are all the details I'm entering? Username and password, right? I want to take this username and password. I want to get the username and password fields in servlet class. So for that, whenever the class is loading and at the time of click on the login button, internally container web client, internally web client internally web client will take all the file, what are the parameters that we have entered, it will capture that and it will keep inside in the request object. Whenever the request is coming to server, so the container will take all the parameters and then it will keep inside request object. Inside this object, it will keep those details. Okay, now from this request object, we need to get those parameters by using get parameter name. There is a method called get parameter name. And what is the name of that field? Go here and take the name for this field. Okay, whatever we are entering, whatever we are entering in the, whatever we are entering in this text box. Okay, for that, I have given some name. The name is username. What that name you need to use to get that value, take that value. Okay, now and store that username. Okay, I kept in uname. Next, the same way we need to take the name of the password field and then to get the value that we have entered in the password section. Request dot get parameter of the name we need to give. Okay, and we'll store that in some password variable. Okay, now I want to, once it is getting, then we need to display this to the client. Okay, to the end user we need to send back to the user again. Okay, for that, whatever if you want to send anything back to the client or web client or browser, then we need to keep that in response object. Okay, whatever it is coming, it is there in the request object. If you want to send anything back to the client, then we need to keep inside response object. Okay, dot get writer. Okay, it will return print writer object. Okay, inside system dot out dot println will write writer. In the same way, it will return of print writer object out dot print ln of. Okay, out dot print ln of, write some whatever that is. username, user, write some message, username is, right, it will display there, un and password is dwd. Okay, now well here, now we'll see, now we will run it whether it will work out or not. Now let's stop the server. Okay, if you want to, we can debug also. Okay, if you want, when it will come here, let me right click on this. Instead of run on server, I want to do just to debug on server. Okay, first we'll see in the run on server, and then I'll show you debug. Okay, now what is that first one? We need to login dot servlet servlet slash login dot html. Is it capital letter or how it is? Yeah, now see that. Now enter some name, I'm ready, and I am giving of some password. You are not able to see that, right? Now you will see after click on button, it will move that. So username is mready and password is IBC test. From where it is coming? After executing servlet, this line is going to print that message to the client. This message is going to display to the client. We are keeping in response object. Through response only we are keeping, right? So that means whatever you are keeping inside this means it is of response object that will send that object to the client. The meaning of that. Guys, is it clear? Now I will show you through debug also. Okay, first thing is whatever you are displaying, first time displaying of login.html, right or not? So let me add to login.html as a default one. Okay, now let's restart it. See, now it is coming defaultly. Before it is coming index.html, right? So this time it is giving login page. Now, so what we are doing is first whenever the login page is coming, okay, so inside login page what is there? Username and password. So whatever the username and password we are entering, the text box is there, right? So if you want, I will show you the source here. Go to view page source. See that. So for username, there is a field name called username. For password, this is the password field name. Okay. So whatever you are entering in the username field, through this name I can get it. For that field, I am giving one name, that is username. For the password field, I am giving one name is password. Okay. For submit button, this is for submit button, I am giving the value as sign in. Okay, now when you click on this button, when you click on this sign in button, then I want to perform login action. Okay, I want to perform login action. What is this action will do? The container, once the request is coming to, once request is coming to the web server, whenever you are clicking on sign in button, with this action the request will come to server, right? So what server will do, web server, what server will do means it will check, first it will check in web.xml file. First it will check in web.xml file. Inside total there may be of hundreds of servlets. Okay, hundreds of servlets and hundreds of servlet mapping tags. There is no limit, we can give n number of servlet and servlet mapping tags. So out of all, is there any servlet mapping? Is there any servlet mapping with out of 100 servlet mappings? Is there any servlet mapping with URL pattern as slash login? With login, whatever the action name here, same should be in the web.xml, guys. Okay. If it is there, then it will take the name of that servlet, the above tag. It is these two are child tags of servlet mapping, right? So for this URL pattern, what is the name is there? Name of the servlet. What is the name? Test is there, right? So again, web container, what it will do? Server, it will check. So is there any servlet tag? Is there any servlet tag with servlet name as test? Okay, out of 100, if anywhere it is identified with servlet name as test, then it will go to servlet class, whatever the class that we mentioned here. It will go to that class, and it will execute of defaultly service method. It will execute defaultly service method. It will execute. There are some other methods is also there, init method and destroy method, and some constructor also we will add soon. Okay, is it clear guys till now? I will debug you
Yes.
and show you that. Okay, is it clear how the flow is coming? Even
Yes, sir.
verbally also I have added in the document. Okay, you no need to worry. Now, so our life cycle methods are init method, service method, and destroy method, right? So when init method will execute means whenever server is starting and whenever servlet is going to start, that time it will execute of init method first time, only first time, and that too only one time only it will execute. Okay, now let's stop it. I want to write off init method. Okay, you don't need to write all these things, just type in it and control space, type in it and control space, select a second one. Okay, or this one, or you can use of two things is there. So normally at the time of for each servlet, there is one servlet config file will be created. Okay, now let's, and I'm going to create a constructor, one constructor for this class. Okay, system.out.println constructor of login servlet. Okay, next system.out.println the of login servlet, and this is system.out.println service method of service method of login servlet. Okay, and we have one more method that is destroy. Anyone ask anything? Public, sorry, destroy, right? Destroy. Automatically, these are superclass methods. Okay, this will be destroy method of login servlet. Okay, now we'll see when it will execute and which one will execute first. All those things. Okay, now let's start it. Okay, and we'll run it again. Okay, now till now, see guys, there is no messages. Okay, till now I have written some system.out.println. As of now, after starting server, nothing is printed. Now let's see, and enter some name. Okay, I'm entering of some test and some password I have entered. After clicking on this, observe guys, after clicking on that, After clicking on this, let's see that what is the log will come. How many things are there? Which one is executed first?
Concept.
Yes, constructor is executed first. After that,
Need.
init method is executed. After that,
Server.
service method is executed last. Okay. Now, from next time onwards, okay, from next time onwards, if you are trying, only service method only will execute, no constructor and no init method. Those will execute only once at the time of first time. Okay. Now let's see if I'm entering again login login dot html. Again I have opened the same page, and if I'm entering again with some different name something, now let's see, only service method only will execute, no, only service method only will execute from second time onwards. Okay, not, yeah, see that life cycle phases in this servlet will be loaded into the memory first time. This is instantiated by servlet container. Okay, servlet container will call first default constructor of that servlet. Okay, after that init lifecycle method, init lifecycle method will be called by the container. Okay, and init method can be called only once, only once in the lifetime of a servlet. And in this phase, service phase of life cycle will be called by the container. Even service method also will be called by the container. So for every time whenever any request is coming from second time onwards, only service method will execute. Service method can be called any number of times in the lifetime of a servlet. Okay, and last method is destroy method. This will be executed whenever the container is removing the servlet object. Whenever container is removing the servlet object, that time only it will display that we can't see. Okay, now if you are trying again, then again it will call only, again it will call only service method only. Okay, but what are the things, there is something is happening here. So whatever I'm entering here, those are coming as part of url. Is it correct or not? Right, whatever I'm entering in the username and password field, those is coming in the url. That is not secure, right or not? Is correct, guys? So
Yes, sir.
suppose the username that we are passing, if it is coming in the URL, then it is not secure, right? Anyone can see that, right or not? I don't want to show this username and password in the URL. Okay, I want to go in the hidden mode. Then in that case, what we need to do, by default, if we are not giving any after action, if we are not giving any method, okay, by default it will take as get method. There is an attribute called method. Default it is giving of get method, right or not? So get method, whatever the parameters that we are sending to the servlet, get method will add all those parameters in the url itself, in url itself. If you don't want that, then change that to post, change that method to post. Now we will see again that. Now run as, now let's see that if I'm entering something, then those will go in the hidden mode. Did you observe, guys? Now those are, but I'm entering, I'm username is already something and password is something, but those are not added to the url, right or not? Okay, what is the use of post method, guys? What is the use of post method?
To hide username and password.
Yes, to hide the entered details, we need to go for post method. Okay, most of the times we'll use post only, guys, in the offices. Okay, in main projects, very less time only we'll use get. Okay, now we'll debug this one. Okay, how exactly the servlet one by one is executing. Is it clear, guys? We'll see now. You people will get some better idea. I've added debug points. Okay, in the left hand side, see that I added debug points. Okay, now I'm running my application in debug mode. Okay, debug on server. Before we are using run on server. Now we are using debug on server. Okay, now let enter some value. Okay, something, and click on sign in. After that, it will go to the controller to servlet. See that it is asking servlet, it is asking the Eclipse, do you want to open the debug perspective? Okay, let's click on okay. Okay, it will do some changes in the Eclipse. Now what it's showing, first let's come down. See, nothing is executed, guys. See, one second. Yeah, no issue. Now where is the controller? Now the controller is here, right? Now let's here there is a F6. Okay, you need to press F6, or the arrow is there. Okay, right arrow, just click on that. It will go. It is completed. Servlet is the constructor is completed. After that, next go to that. It is going to some init method. Wait, one second. Init method is executed. Let me F8. It will execute that. Okay. Init method is done. Let's go on. Come down. Let's enter it. Init method is completed. Now again it will come to service method. It will come to service method. Now again click on press F8 or F6, means you want to go for line by line, then F6. Okay, now it is coming to servlet. It is coming to service method. First constructor is executed, init method is completed. Now it is coming to service method. Now if you want to see line by line, then F6, it will go to that line. Next F6, it will go to next line. Next F6, it will go to next line. Just once it is done, just press on. If you want to exit of that, then press F8. Then it will complete that. And then go to browser. It will show that. Is it clear, guys? It is a sample debugging of web application. Okay, one sample. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
this is of
sir.
debugging.
What is
Now
debugging, sir?
debugging means like let's say server is running, means somewhere you got some errors. Okay, if your leader manager is asking to verify where exactly the error is coming, okay, then by seeing the code you can't identify that. Okay, sometimes, so we need to debug the code where line by line we need to check it. Okay, then that's where the debug will come into the picture. Debugging, clear or not?
Okay, sir. Got it.
Debugging means normally whenever you are using, normally means like by using run method, means normal running without debugging means, one second, without debugging means we can't identify that where exactly the error is coming. Okay, we can't check the line by line. But if you are using debugging mode, if you are starting server in debugging mode, then we can keep some breakpoints. We can keep some breakpoints, and then we can check like where exactly the error is coming. Okay, that we'll see. Still more you will see that. Okay,
Okay,
Now,
sir.
but debugging is very important, guys. Okay, for doing of any issue analysis and for identifying any issues in the project. Okay, now is it clear the first flow and what is the servlet life cycle? Guys, is it clear? This
Yes,
is
sir.
Yes,
one.
sir.
Yes, sir. And if we are extending generic servlet, if we are extending generic servlet, we can use of any protocol. Here internally it will use of some protocol, right? Like what we will do, HTTP, some local host, like that we are entering, correct or not? So in this case, I stopped server, I think. Yeah, I stopped server. In this case, if you are using extending generic servlet means we can use of any protocol, not only HTTP. HTTP is a one protocol. Okay, let's say google.com. Okay, internally what it is there, http is there, right? It is a protocol independent, we can say it is a protocol independent. So whenever I am extending my servlet with generic servlet means then I can use of any protocol, ftp protocol, file transfer protocol. Okay, like that we can use of any protocol. Okay, and if you want to go for a protocol specific means then we need to use http servlet. In place of this we need to use http servlet. Okay, then compulsory we need to use of http only while we are entering our project execution. Okay, now let's see with that also an example. There is nothing, guys, everything is same, but let me create one more servlet here only. Okay, control C, control V, login servlet http I'm keeping. Okay, now login servlet with http. Now change it to http servlet. Okay, now even this is the extended class of this is extending the generic servlet. See that, guys, this is extending generic servlet. Okay, this http servlet class. Now, so as part of http they have added some more specific methods, some more specific methods. Let's say whenever you are entering method equal post, always it is executing of service method. Is it correct or not? In case of generic servlet, in case of generic servlet, if you are extending our class with generic servlet, always this method only will execute, right or not? I want to execute some specific method. Okay, if I want, if I'm giving this as, if I'm giving this as, I'm changing to some different action, http login http. Okay, just I changed this one. Take this action, we need to configure this action somewhere. Where we need to configure? I,
WebEx terminal.
yes, correct. Yeah, exactly. Very good. So now,
We need to rename also, sir.
yes, correct. That will see. One second. Yeah. Now go to web.xml file and then I will write this is for login servlet, right? With the generic servlet. The login servlet which extends generic servlet. Now I want to write one more servlet mapping for HTTP, right? So in that case, what will you do? One servlet is required, one servlet mapping is required. Then in that case, copy this total and then paste it below and we'll modify it again. So it is saying servlet name is already exist, it will not accept also if you are giving two servlets, two names same for same servlet. Now http. Okay, now change this name to here also http. Now this action I need to change it to what? Login http. and whenever this login HTTP identifier in the login.html file, right? Login.html. Whenever you are clicking on this one, it will come with this name in to web.xml file. Out of all web.xml file, it will search for is there any servlet mapping with login HTTP. Yes, it is identified one servlet mapping with one URL pattern as login HTTP. Then the container will take name of that servlet here. It will take that name and again it will check is there any servlet? Is there any servlet with servlet name? Inside it will check is there any servlet with servlet name as HTTP. Then if it is identified, then it will execute of this servlet class. So it is not actual class. We need to add some different class name as this one. Okay. Now execute this one. Now, whenever we are executing this time, the controller will come to 1 second. Where is? If you are getting errors also, no worry, guys. Okay. Even service method also will be here. In this case, we have two specific methods. If we are having here login.html, here it is contains post method means compulsory. Here we need to use do post. Do post method. There is a method do post. Okay, with HTTP servlet. Let me, instead of modifying that, let me comment it and then I will write the same code. Okay, copy this, control shift forward slash, it will comment it. Okay, now write it. I don't want to write this code, just to generate it. Do post, just search it and control space, it will give do post second option. Okay, always it will generate that code. Okay, now my code I just copy paste of my method service method code into to here. Okay, now let's see, it is giving up some error means res is there, but as part of HTTP response I have given resp. Okay, just to change it to before it is having servlet request and servlet response as a parameters to service method. See that servlet request and servlet response for service method. In case of for HTTP methods, they used as HTTP servlet request and HTTP servlet response. These are extended. That's it. Okay, extended servlet. See that servlet request and servlet response. Extended classes. Extended interfaces, guys, not classes, interfaces. Now, if I am now everything is good. Now change it to here. Remove it. Okay. First we will remove and try. We will get error. No worries. For your confirmation, I am doing this one first. Which project we are doing? Servlet web app or let me see.
Web app servlets.
Web app servlet. Yeah, web app servlet. Last one. Now run as on server. Click on next. Enter some value and will get some error. No worries. Okay, what it is saying. Okay, now error instantiating the servlet class. It is saying at the time of instantiation I am getting error. Okay, now go and check it. So actually we have post method, right? Now see our log also, not only that. Okay, class not found, no issue. Now So that we know that actually in the HTTP class we have written post method, okay, but here by default it is a get method. Let's add method equal to post. Now let's see. Run as, run on server. Next. Yeah, it came. Now let's see something. And what happened, guys? The encountered unexpected condition prevented the fulfilling of request. Instantiating. Good. No worry. Let me do one more RND. Plugin servlet. Now let's stop it. Is the web.xml file everything configured correctly, right? Servlet, web app. Oh, I think no, it's not the correct one. I think I ran different one. Sorry, guys. Is it the configuration we have done correctly? Web app servlet, login, one, one. This servlet and servlet mapping. That is also correct. Good. And go to login.html. Search it. Yes, it is also available. Now let's see. Yeah. And servlet servlet html class not for. Let me get rid of this. Let's add a from servlet-api.jar and we'll try. Now run it. Delete the cache, then we'll see. Server error login http login http fulfilling prevented it from fulfilling the request. Condition that prevented it from fulfilling the request. Authentication base. Maybe it is causing of some issue with this maybe web servlet index.xml login.http. Let me create one more and try. set errors common, guys. Okay. Now let's select, go here, write up some rectangle. Now write up one HTML HTML bracket, go to log, just click log and go to web.xml file. I don't want to write direct web.xml file. Let me close test and servlet and post do get system to get writer ln just have message. Now go to HTML. Now I don't want to write HTML. Web servlet URL pattern log. Okay, now let me run it. What is happening here? Method post is not specified by the URL. Yeah, is it post is here. Now you should try again. Yes, sometimes it will happen. So let me write that code again here. Okay, so I'm using here annotation wise. Let me replace this with web.xml file and go to web.xml file. Now we need to write up one servlet. Okay, tell me guys, normally we will not use this web.xml file, we'll use mostly annotation wise, but first time I need to explain to you guys, right? So that is the reason I am configuring in web.xml file first. And servlet name test, write something, and servlet class I want to execute as com.abc dot, what is the class name, http servlet test. Okay, http servlet test. No, still something is missing. Copy this, copy paste here. Yeah,
Package also is not there, sir.
package.
It's
Oh,
not there.
yes, yeah, good catch. Package is com.ibc.
It's already there.
Yeah. Now I move
Conrad
to.
Davis.
Okay, sorry, it is already there. It should be the compulsory. Should be the first statement, guys. Package. Otherwise, it will give error. Yeah. Next to the web data XML file. The next part is servlet is done. Servlet mapping is pending. Okay. Mapping we need to do. Servlet name test and URL mapping slash log, right? Slash log, is it correct or not? Let me show and check it. Slash log, yeah, action is. Now your method is get, here also good. Now go here and then copy of that code, paste here, generate this code as well. Now configure slash log as a URL pattern for that. That is while submitting login button. Okay. Now let's run it. Run as. Now let's something. Some password. Now hello mdd, your password is this one. Welcome to login servlet. Okay, that's what I think it is. We have written, right? So hello service method of login servlet. I copy pasted that one, the password of that. Okay. Now username and password whatever you have entered. Hello username and your password is whatever you have entered. This is what I have entered. And welcome to login servlet application. And welcome to login servlet application. Okay. So here I have written do get. Okay. Normally in it everything is will be there. Let me copy paste stuff. If you want, we can copy paste these two also. Change the name of the constructor. Change it. Init method. Want we can write destroy method. Anyhow, that is not. We can't see that I am ignoring it. Okay. Now let's stop it server. Now run it again. Okay. So now what I am doing, I am entering md and password as IBC I have entered. Okay. Let me sign in. Now see, hello md, your password is IBC. Welcome to HTTP servlet application. So if you are giving here as post again, okay, post means and see now by this time you might have seen that all are coming in the URL. Okay. So before also we are giving post, right? So now this time we need to use of do post method compulsory. Compulsory, this is do get, this will not execute. Compulsory we need of one more method do post. Okay, do post method. So now let's see do get the method, then this one is do post method. Now we'll see which one will execute that. It will execute of, we have given both. Now run as, run on server. give some values p techno. Okay, now, so hello, I'm ready. Your password is techno. Now go and see the logs. Constructor of HTTP servlets, init method, and do post method. Okay, this is what HTTP servlet, guys. Mostly we'll use HTTP servlet only for explanation of that generic servlet. That is the base one. So that is the reason first example I have given as generic servlet example. Okay. Is it clear, guys? Now my requirement is I want to execute of my servlet constructor and init method. I want to execute at the time of server starting time only. I want to execute. Okay, at the time of server starting time only I want to execute. Then in that case, we have a provision. We need to add load on startup, load on startup, then give some value for that, then this time observe it. Okay, then this time observe it, observe the logs, observe the logs. Did you observe the logs, guys? This is executed by already at the time of without my constants container, already it is constructor is called and init method is executed. Guys, are you able to see? If you are giving load on startup, okay, load on startup means at the time of server startup itself I want to load my class, then we need to use this tag server load on startup tag, and then we need to use some number for that. Okay, after that every time it will execute only service method, right or not? Now this time what we are doing, do post, right? This one of test password I'm giving. Now let's go and see only do post method is executed. What is happened before? Before it is executed for all, right or not?
Yes,
Did you
sir.
observe the difference between load on startup, without load on startup, with load on startup? Right? So load on startup if we are adding means then it will load at the time of server starting, at the time of deploying and application starting. That time only the object will call, object will create, and then it will call off init method. Both it will do at the time of starting only. Okay, that's what HTTP servlet. Okay, now next one. Is it clear, guys? What is the life cycle of servlet? If not understood, then I'll explain again.
Clear, sir.
Yeah, good. Now I've given screenshot for some applications. Okay, and I have given a explanation also for web.xml file. Web.xml file contains n number of servlet tags. Okay, child elements of servlets are servlet class and servlet name. Okay, that's what we have defined as part of servlet tag. We have to servlet class and servlet name, both is there same. Okay, what is the use of the servlet class? Select class and select name. Content of this tag should be fully qualified name of our servlet. Fully qualified name of our servlet. The servlet tag, servlet class contains fully qualified name of our servlet class. Okay, and what is the servlet name it contains? It contains content of this tag represents the registered name of servlet. For this servlet, I have given some name. I have registered with the name as test. Okay, this name I will use whenever any request is coming to this class. Whenever any request is coming to this servlet, then I can identify that by using this servlet name in the servlet mapping part. Okay, that's what here it is. We can we can have n number of servlet mappings also. As part of servlet mapping, servlet name and URL pattern, this must be same. Servlet name of servlet mapping, servlet name of servlet tag, both must be same, then only it can map it. And one more is URL pattern, URL of our servlet. Okay. Now next one is we will call web.xml file as deployment descriptor. We'll call web.xml file as deployment descriptor. Okay. And the next part is compiling of servlet. Okay, we have written our servlet, right? So this class must be compiled, right? So for compilation we need of servlet hyphen api.jar compulsory. Okay, this jar is available in server. This jar is available in server, Tomcat server. We need to go to Tomcat server and then get that jar file and add in our class path or in the project lib folder. Project lib folder, you can add it. Sometimes it will give error if you are not adding it. Okay. Already I have added in the class path, that is the reason it is not giving any error, but normally you people need to add in the path, class path. Okay, now the next part
How
is,
should we add, sir, that one? Servlet.
sorry,
How should we add that one?
yeah, how should we mean, just copy that here. Okay, copy that here and then directly there is one folder in the project lib under webinf. There is one, wherever you identify the web.xml file, there you will see one folder lib. Okay, for libraries, you need to add that library inside that file. Okay,
Okay, sir.
yeah, library automatically it will generate this folder at the time of project creation. Okay, there we need to add it. The next part is how to form the URL. Okay, you have everything is ready, but you need to start your project, right? So how to start means you know what is the URL, right? So you know what is the project name. So by seeing that we can say this is the project name, right? So after that we know where we have installed, what is the port of our Tomcat server. Okay, if you are not seeing that one, then you can identify by using here. At the time of starting we can see here started in 1234. Okay, you can take this one. So go to any browser, go to any browser, http colon double slash localhost. Okay, and our port number at the time of installation of Tomcat slash our project name. Our project name is, what is our project? HTTP servlet project, right? Right? HTTP servlet project. Okay, slash. Okay, if web.xml file contains any default file, index.xml file, welcome file is there. If that file is there in the web content, then defaultly that file will open. Click on enter. Okay, server is stopped. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, see that default local HTTP, even if you are giving HTTP colon localhost, also same thing it will give. Okay, now the next part. After that, if you are giving not giving any file means default it will take welcome file. If you want to specific file means then we need to execute of that specific file. Let's say one more file. Let's assume control n HTML. Okay, just add of some welcome welcome.html, just assume. Okay, now this also I have added, but I'm adding just to welcome, just nothing. If you want this page to open, then what we need to do, at the end after this we need to add welcome
Yeah,
dot sorry, slash is
that
missed.
one.
Yeah, slash is missed. Welcome dot html. Any capital small letter? Yeah, capital letter is missed. Capital letter. Now see, it is coming our welcome page. Okay, default page will come only in case of in web.xml file. If you are giving as a welcome file list, then it will come that. Okay. Now this is what the first application, guys. Now if you want to see anyone, if anyone want to log in, now let's open. Is my server is running right now? If anyone want to access my application which is already running, right, can you guys can try in your application in your laptops or in your mobiles, this application you people can see that. One second, I'll give one URL. This is a web application, right? What is that? Index dot. Don't, I will not give. You people also can try. I will give one URL. How to go to command prompt ip config. Okay, take the IP address of my system. Yeah, can you people try this URL, guys? You can see my application. Yeah, can you see that URL? You can see what I am testing now. You people also can verify that. Are you able to see? Can you click on that? Guys, are you able to see me? Hear me?
It is
Just click
taking
on.
time, sir.
It's not coming, sir.
No. It will work, guys. So, are you entered correctly?
Hello.
Yes.
One
Can't
second.
reach page.
No. Actually, it should. It will work, guys. So I have tried my tab. Let me. So what you are getting? What error? Any?
The site is can't reach it.
Is it?
This side can't be reached, sir.
No. 1 second, guys. Let me try. HTTP. No, it should be accessible, guys. What I given HTTP? Yes, or what? No, it should be HTTP slash 192 command IP config. Be accessible, guys. 1 second. Let me try in my lab tab. 192 192 dot 192 dot 168 dot 0 dot 105 colon 1234 slash http cr servlet project ct project slash. Morning I seen this, guys. It should be correct. Why it is not? 1234. Let me. Try to change. IP address for 192. Sorry, 192, right? 168. Sorry, I think I entered wrong. 105. 105. It should accept, guys. I don't know why it is causing some issue. Morning I have tested it. Not secure. Maybe it is because of sharing. Let me stop it and start another project in other completely solve. Yes, preferred. IPv6, IPv6. Okay, guys, maybe something has happened. So, but morning I have verified in my tab. Okay, it will work. So maybe I'm not sure. Maybe it is of some secure, some maybe it is Wi-Fi or something is causing some issue. But it will work it. Okay, leave it about that. But that's what the web application, right? Now let's go to next part. Yeah. Now I have given the flow of servlet also clearly, whatever I have explained through verbally. So this is of whenever client request is coming for a servlet, the web container will try to check whether the requested servlet is available or not. On what basis it can check? By using web.xml file, right? If it is not, then it will send the requested resource is not available. Okay. Otherwise, web container will create a instance of servlet by calling default constructor, the first part, right? Every time it is calling of constructor first part. The next one, once the instance of servlet is created, then web container call init method, init lifecycle method. That is the second part. That's what I have explained. The next one is once init method is finished execution, then servlet is ready to process the client request. Then once this is to completed, then only after that the service method will execute to process client request, right or not? After that only the client request will execute by executing of service method, by executing service method. Okay, or based on now web container will create for each and every time any request is coming, it will create one thread to execute of that request. Okay, and as part of this internally it will do of whatever the that is there in the form, all that would be coming into the request object. Request object, that is the responsibility of client, it will send through that object. Okay, now whatever if you want to send anything back to the client, then we need to keep inside response object. Okay, web container will call internally, this is what internal it will do, and then it will call that object do get method or do post method. But in our case we use of do get or do post, not service method. Service method means first time we whenever we are using of generic servlet extending that time it will execute a servlet method. Okay, once servlet method is executed, if any request is coming again, yeah, after this web content will call service lifecycle method by passing of request and response object of whatever in the above created. Okay, once service method is completed, web content will send response back to client by using response method, response object. If any new request is coming back again to same servlet, only these three steps will execute. The init method, construction, creating of object, all those things will not execute multiple times. That's only one time. After that, this is the first thing. Whenever you want to contain web container want to garbage collector, then last point, sorry. So the destroy method will be called by web container at the time of deleting the servlet object from server. Okay, and as part of URL contains three parts. Okay, as part of URL, three parts it contains. How means how you want to access this resource, how you want to access the resource by using some protocol that is called HTTP. Okay, now where part means where exactly our application is deployed and where exactly it is running on which mission. Okay, mission with port, that's what local host with port number. Okay, the last part is where part means our project name with the URL will call as where part. It contains of two part, one is application name, other one is URL. These three parts compulsory we should know whenever you are constructing any URL for web application. Okay, the destroy method is this already I told you at the time of deleting the servlet, that time it will call destroy method. We can ignore of that. And the next one is we need to use of two protocol classification of servlets. One is generic servlet, other one is HTTP servlet. Generic servlet is protocol independent, it can use on any protocol, but HTTP protocol is protocol dependent. Okay, a servlet which extending the HTTP servlet means compulsory it is depending on HTTP protocol. Compulsory through that only we need to use some HTTP methods. Get method, post method, put method, delete method, options, patch. Many methods are there, but out of all, we need of only two methods: get method and post method. Okay, is it clear, guys? Up to now, it's not moving here.
Yes, sir.
I
Yes, sir.
thought we can do. It's not moving. Now, what is the difference? Now, mostly we are using of do get and do post only. Okay, mostly means in servlets we'll use these two only. Okay, now if we want to, what is the difference between do get and do post? Okay, do get is the default method. Get is the default method of any request. Post means compulsory. We need to specify explicitly that method in form. Okay, anywhere, even here also by default it will come as let's we're giving method means default it is coming get method. Okay, and we can send this request in three different ways by using anchor link. Anchor link means let's say for suppose if I am giving after this, if I am giving off some anchor link. Anchor link means this is what anchor link href. This is HTML, guys. Okay, now and click here. Okay. Now let's refresh it. Connect. Yeah. Oh, I think this is a first error project. I think add this, copy this, put this here. Save it. Where we did HTTP select, right? Let me open here. or index.xml. Log it. If action is coming at that, just observe that. Okay. Click here. See that it is performing some action. Through this also we can call, by default it internally will take get method. Okay. Now the next method. Next is by using pasting URL also. Okay. Let's say see directly the URL. If you are using, this is a get, right? If I'm using by default this also, we can access it. Okay. And next one is, what is the next one? By submitting form also. Just now we have seen through this form also we can use default as get. Okay. And but post means compulsory, through form only we need to post. Through form only we need to post it, otherwise we'll get error. Okay. Now next, uh, data submitted to send. So whatever the data we are sending to the server, it will go in URL. As part of URL it is adding, but in case of post it will not add to the URL. Internally it will go in the cookies. Now, and one more thing, whatever the data that we are sending through get method, that is not secure. We should not send secure information through get method. Okay, we need to send through only post method. And through get method we can send only limited information in the URL. Okay, but by using post method we can send unlimited data. That is one difference. And mostly get method used to get any resources from server. If you want to get something from the server, that time we'll use get method. If you want to post something to the server like form data something, then you need to go for a post method. Okay, these are the main differences for get and post. Okay, as part of servlets, we have, along with HTTP servlet, generic servlet, there are some more interface and classes. Those are servlet config, servlet context, servlet request, servlet response. We have seen HTTP servlet request, HTTP servlet response. We have seen, right? These are HTTP servlet request, HTTP servlet response, and in case of generic one, we have seen login servlet of uh, before. First we have seen generic servlet, right? So even that also we have seen, and servlet config and servlet context, that we will see soon. Okay, next one is, this is of, I have given example of HTTP servlet lifecycle. Nothing is there that I have given. Next, go to lifecycle methods. That's what it is. Now servlet config. Servlet config. What is servlet config? Okay, servlet config and servlet context are two classes, two interfaces. Okay, it contains the data for specific servlet or for all servlet. I want to configure some data to all servlets, then in that case we need to configure in context param. Then those data will go into the servlet context. Okay, now let's see through practical only, we'll see better idea. Config and context object. Okay, context app. As part of this, what I have done is, let me open this first servlet. As part of first servlet, what I have done, I have created one servlet. Okay, and one, two, just assume two servlets, first servlet and second servlet. Okay, so those are two servlets. Based on my condition, these will execute, right or not? Let me open web.xml file for configuration. defaultly index dot page will open, right? Let me. So if I want to execute first of servlet means if I'm clicking on this one, let me open and then do that. Practical. Now what I am doing, so it is giving two anchor links, right? First servlet and second servlet. This is what that default page of for context and config project. Okay, if I am clicking on first hyperlink, it is searching for first. Okay, go to web.xml file, and then inside this it will check for inside this it will check for the first URL pattern. URL pattern is identified for one of the servlet mapping. What is the name of that servlet? Name of the servlet is one, right? Now, is there any servlet tag which contains of with the name servlet name as one? Yes, so already we have identified one servlet with servlet name as one. What is the servlet? So it is of first servlet. Whenever this first servlet is executing, okay, whenever this first servlet is executing, I want to send some parameters. I want to send some configuration data, some in like environment variables or some database details. If you want to send something, then we need to configure them by using init param. Okay, if we are configuring any parameters by using init param within servlet, then those parameter name and parameter value will be available to this servlet. Okay, if we want to configure some key value pair to some all the servlet, then we need to configure them by using context param. By using context param, the param name and param value properties are same in for init param and context param. Okay, if you are keeping the param name and param value inside context param means then this is available to all servlets. Okay, in our application, let's assume 100 servlets are there. Okay, then in that case this property is available to 100 servlets. If we are adding within the servlet, inside servlet, if you are adding init param means then this is available only to this particular servlet. Okay, now let's see. In the first servlet I have added company name is IBC, right? In the second servlet the company name I have given as Capgemini. Let's see that. Okay, we will see and then we'll debug also. Now let's see first one. When I entered first clicking on that, okay, when I entered first clicking on first servlet, what I am doing, through if you want to get that whatever the value that I configured in the web.xml file, we need to get through servlet config. If it is a specific to the servlet means then that we need to get through get servlet config. It will return servlet config object. Through that select config data get init parameter of this name. Okay, this name we need to check what is the name of a company name, right? The first servlet, what is the value? IBC, right? Now let's see the first servlet init param is IBC. The first servlet email parameter value with context param is prasad at IBC techno. Let's see what is the value of email is prasad at ibc.com, right? Now let's click on the second servlet. Okay, now let's click on second servlet. What is the value it is coming? Init param value is coming as Capgemini, right? Init param Capgemini for second servlet I have configured it as Capgemini, right? But the context param value is coming as prasad at ibctechno.com, right? So that means that you should understood like if you are configuring, if you want to configure anything that is specific to particular servlet, then we need to configure them through init param within servlet tag. Okay, if you want to configure something to the entire application, then we need to configure them through context param. Guys, is it clear? If you want to configure of anything specific to the servlet means through inside servlet tag, we need to configure by using init param. Okay, that is specific to the servlet. If you want to access some particular key value pair, some particular key, then we need to use them by using context param. If you are configuring some parameter name and parameter value, this email, by using this email parameter name, I can get this value in any of the servlet. Okay, but if I'm trying to use this company name within the servlet means I can get this value. If outside of that means then I can't get this IPC. Okay, in case of second servlet, if I'm trying for getting a company name means in second servlet I have configured Capgemini. That is the reason. That is the reason for the second servlet execution, it is giving as Capgemini. Is it clear, guys? This part? Servlet context and servlet config. Guys, is it clear or you want me to explain more once again? So here
Please.
is like, remember one thing, guys, servlet config means it is specific to the servlet for one servlet. Okay, if you are configuring anything within servlet config means then it is called to that particular servlet, the meaning of that. If you want to configure, I want to configure some key value pair for all the servlet in my application, then we need to keep in servlet context or context param. Okay, select context or context param. How to get the context param means by using servlet context object. Okay, company name means it is by using servlet config object. Okay, to get off for all servlets which is, if some property want to access of all the property, all servlets means then that property we can access by using get servlet context object. It will return one servlet context object. Okay, then through that context that get in init param of that property name which we configured in web.xml file is email, then it will pick that value. Okay, those two I am giving for first servlet and for second servlet, both for second cases. Is it clear, guys, this part? Servlet context and servlet config.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so now next we'll go for till now we are seeing only one request, right? Now I want to do some servlet collaboration. Servlet collaboration means if one servlet want to interact with other servlet, if one servlet want to interact with other servlet means then we'll call that as a servlet collaboration. We'll call it as a servlet collaboration. Okay, how exactly the servlets will communicate with each other? Okay, so if I want to share the data of one servlet to another servlet, okay, how can you do that? If I want to control from one servlet to another servlet, then how can I transfer the control from one servlet to another servlet? So that we can achieve by using a class called request dispatcher. By using request dispatcher. Okay, so sharing control from one servlet to another servlet by using request dispatcher. Sharing data between servlets by using three scopes are there. One is request scope, other one is session scope, third one is servlet context or application scope. Okay, what is mean by request scope and what is session scope, what is application scope, what is the range of accessing the properties within the scope attributes. Okay, let's say suppose, let me take off some example. So if I want to, let's say if I'm clicking one button, if I'm clicking any one link means then I can say it is one request. I can say until performing of the request, if I want to store some data in the request scope, then we'll call that as a request scope. The data will be available in the request scope as long as that operation is completing. And click on this one. What is happening? It is, I think servlet is, I think server is stopped. So as long as that one, whenever it is executing, okay. One second. This was servlet. Go to first servlet. Yeah. So if I'm clicking on this one, so what is happening? It is going to executing the second servlet, right? So until that, if you want to keep something, some data inside the request scope means, then that data will be available as long as the second servlet is executing. If you want to keep some data, if you want to keep some data in session object, let's say you are logging to some Facebook or somewhere, okay. So you are going to multiple pages, okay. If you want to share some data between multiple pages, okay, until you log out, until the user is log outing, if you want to maintain some data in the session, okay, to multiple pages, then that time we will keep the data inside session scope, okay. In any of the pages, we can access if you are keeping in the session scope until you log out, okay. So there may be some situations, sometimes you want to access some properties or some data for all the users, okay, in entire application anywhere for all the users, then we will keep those type of data in application scope or servlet context scope, okay. Now that's what the meaning of these three scopes. Okay, servlet uses attribute concept to share the data between multiple servlets. Okay, how to set the data, how to get the data means, there are some methods for setting the data. Set attribute, it will take of key and value. With the key you are storing that value inside a request scope, okay. The same methods is available for session scope also, for application scope also. Request dot set attribute or key comma value, or session dot set attribute key comma value, or application dot or select context dot set attribute of key comma value. While if you want to get it, then there is a method called get attribute of the key name which we have specified in the set attribute. If you want to remove, then remove attribute is there. Okay, now is it clear, guys? Now we'll see one example. Sharing the data between servlets. How exactly it can share the data between multiple servlets? Okay, guys, you people need to practice also, guys. Only by listening you can't understood, maybe again you people go and practice it. If not understood, then we'll discuss again, no issue, okay. Now I think up to now enough, maybe people cannot understood more than this. For today it is enough. Let me give off the sharing the data between request scope and session scope. Let's see one example. Request dispatcher, yeah. So as part of this project, what I have done, you know how to create the project, right? After creating project, what I am doing is, what I did here is, let's say assume first servlet I have created, one servlet I have created, okay. So why, how will this servlet is going to execute means, okay, let me open. Hmm, let's go to web.xml file when we can see the configuration clearly when the first servlet is going to execute. Registration servlet, first servlet slash first, okay. Now let's go and cf first, yeah. At the time of index.xml file executing, so you are entering some name and then you are click on go button, then it is going to execute of first servlet, it is going to first servlet, and then from request parameter whatever I am, let me run this application. Yeah, now I want to execute of index.html. Okay, now as part of index.html, okay, what I have written, I have given only name with some text box and some go button. That's what I have written. Same thing is here. I have entered Ramana and then click on go button. Okay, now what is happening? Let's see. So welcome to IBC Ramana. Somewhere IBC is coming and welcome to is also coming. Let's go and see where it is coming. Go to first servlet. Okay, and getting that value from that text box. After that, I'm keeping, see that after that I'm keeping request dot set attribute of my name. I'm keeping that whatever I'm getting from get parameter I'm storing inside request scope. After that I'm keeping the same value. After keeping I'm same value in session scope also. Something I am keeping in request dot get session of company name IBC. Company name IBC I'm keeping in the session scope. After that, what I am doing, I am forwarding the request to different servlet. I am forwarding the request to different servlet which contains of slash second. Now let's go and check in the web.xml file. Let's go and check in. Not this request, I think. Let's. It's causing of a lot of disturbance. Many things. Yeah. Close others. I don't want to all others. Yeah. Now go to web.xml file. So it will check the is there any URL pattern which contains of slash second. Yes, sir. So I am forwarding my first servlet is executed and I am forwarding request to second servlet. Okay, so it is URL pattern is slash second means it is going to execute of second servlet. Let's go and see inside this servlet what I am doing. I am trying to get off request from request scope. I am getting request dot get attribute of my name. I am getting that. If it is not null means I am getting it. Okay, and the same way I am getting from session scope also. If company name, where I set the company name in the first servlet, I set the company name in the session scope with IBC, right? Now in the second servlet, what it is doing? So I am trying to get if it is not null means get the company value. Okay, if it is null means give return null. If it is not null means give that value. Okay, and after that, what I am doing response dot get rate of println of welcome to IBC and name. It is giving. Now whenever we are forwarding request to dispatcher with the forward means so the second servlet wherever it is forwarding only that is responsible to send the response back to the client, and that response their response only second servlet response only it will send. It will not send the first servlet response. Okay, now we'll see that. Now what is happening here? Welcome to. Now that's what here it is coming. Now let's say if I am going back and then to login page, let's say login.html. Okay, I want to get this session scope and request scope values in some other servlet. Let me try of login servlet. In login servlet also I am trying to get that values from request scope and session scope. Let's see which value will come, which value will not come. I have configured some login data in employee information Rakesh and Sai 123 Rakesh Sai 123. Let's log in. Welcome to home page came. Now go and check in the logs. See that now as part of login servlet it is giving of name equal to null, company name equal to IBC. Okay. That's what. Let me log in servlet. See guys, I have entered. See, this is what it is giving in the. This is what it is giving in the logs. See, the whichever it is there in the name is there in the request scope, that is available only for that request. Okay, if you are keeping the value in the session means then that is available until the session is invalidating or expiring or log outing from the applications. Okay, that is the reason it is coming. Let's say if I want to do of registration, click on registration. Let's do some value. Let's enter some value and some mail and register it. Okay, now registration is successful. Okay, now if you want to try with new values, try with new values and login. Welcome to home page. Okay, how it is happening means okay, now whenever login page is executing, so what I am doing, inside login page, inside login page, in init method I am loading the first data, employees data. Okay, init method is used to load the data. This is the two employees data I have stored in some hash map object. Okay, with username and with the password. So if I'm adding new password and anything, then let me, it is going to register dot register servlet. Okay, it will go to, one second, where is login.html? Yeah, so if I'm clicking on register means it will execute of registration.html. Let's open registration.html. Now, here I will enter a first name, last name, username, password, and email. After clicking on register button, it is going to take off action slash register. Now go and check what is the URL pattern for slash register. Yeah, see that slash register is for register servlet. Now let's go and see in the register servlet what I am doing. I am taking the only username and password, and I am adding to the add employee data add employee of username comma password. It will add internally to the map. Okay, that is the reason. Next time if I am trying to log in, let's go back successful page. Where is registration alert? Yeah, once it is added, I'm giving up one message, registration is successful, and forward the request to login.html with include means whatever that I configured here, with this response it will go to the login.html. With this response, whatever I have configured in the response object, along with that it will open the login.html for login again. Let's see, go back. If I'm clicking on here, let's say test. Okay, copy, test, 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 and test. If I'm clicking on register, what I am doing, once registration is completed, it is coming back to again login.html. I'm forwarding. Okay, for logging again. With forward means it will open direct to the login message, but this message will not come. Okay, if I'm include means it will take the current servlet response along with this one, along with it will go to login.html. Now let's click on that. See, it is registration is successful. Okay, and then it is coming back again login page, right? Now let's test, test, and login. If I'm entering different one, test one also, it will not allow. What is saying, invalid username and password. Okay, where I am checking that means in the login servlet, in login servlet. So I'm checking off whatever the password that I'm entering, is it available in with the username I'm getting from the map. Okay, the password. If it is there, then whatever the password that we are sending in the form and what is there from map, if both are same means, then it is coming home page. If that is not there means that time I'm sending only forward. Okay, if that is not correct, not satisfying the condition means, then what I am doing, invalid username and password, it is going back to again login.html. That's what has happened here. Is it clear, guys? You need to practice, guys. So maybe it will be some confusion at a time. It's very difficult. So practice means you will get some idea. If any doubt is there, just ask me. I will explain again. Sorry, you are asking something, someone.
Nothing, sir.
So I'm giving now all this. I will give the zip file of this one. All these things. Okay. Please practice it. Okay. And one more thing. Not only this, still we have said request scope is done and request and forward and include both. Request dispatcher it will give off that for forwarding as well as including both. Next, send redirect. Send redirect means in this case, in this case, now what we are doing here in this case, we are redirecting from within the application from one servlet to another servlet. By using request dispatcher, we are transferring the control from one servlet to another controller. But my requirement was I want to call some other application. I want to call some other application. Then in that case, we need to use of send redirect. We need to use of send redirect method. Now we'll see one example of that. What I have done, let me, I have created one welcome page. I have created here also nothing. I have entered some text. Okay, and action I have given as third. For third I have written some servlet is third servlet. Okay, third servlet. What I am doing internally, where is that welcome page? Yeah, so internally it will call of it is of method is get method. So whenever it is coming, it will come to third servlet. And what I am doing, I am forwarding that request to Facebook login page. I am forwarding that request to Facebook login page, not my application. Let's see that. Now slash already welcome. Let me see that file name, welcome.html. Welcome.html. If I'm entering something here, it will redirect to it will redirect to Facebook page. This is where if you want to interact any other applications from one server, one application to another application, then we'll use of send redirect, guys. So here I have configured that Facebook login page. Okay, here it will be some dynamic URL, whichever you want to configure, you can configure that. For that, it will redirect the request to that URL. This is where the send redirect will come into the picture. By using send redirect, we can forward the request to in the same servlet or HTML or JSP within the same application as well as different web application as well. Okay, different other applications also we can call by using send redirect. But by using request dispatcher, we can communicate within application. See that. So interacting with one servlet to another servlet is called as servlet collaboration or servlet chaining or inter-servlet communication. By using request dispatcher, we can forward the request to servlet or HTML or JSP within same web application, but not outside. If you want to redirect that application within the application or outside the application, then we should go for a send redirect. Is it clear, guys, this part?
Yes, sir.
Now, along with this, I want to along with this, I want to tell one more thing. That is, I want to tell one more thing. That is, so whatever the servlet, for every servlet, we are configuring some. We are configuring some URL pattern, right, in the web.xml file. I don't want to do that. I want to implement that by using annotations. By using annotations, action is there, right? Login that action compulsory. It will be there in. Will be there in. See here in login. It is there. So now, if I am removing this one, if I am, let's say, I'm commenting this part. Okay. Now, so whatever this URL pattern that is there for login servlet, I'm using I'm doing it by using annotations. By using annotations, that is called, it is came from servlet 3.0 onwards. It is coming, okay, at web servlet, at web servlet. Inside this URL patterns, URL patterns equal to give this one, okay. Even in this case also, it will redirect that value to the login servlet. Let's try for that with now run on server, run on server. Now if I am entering some value, this is again I am registering as only two employee ID's data is there, okay. This is again registering means employee hasmap data is cleared. See that it is giving of invalid username and password. That is the reason. That means that it is moving to servlet, right or not? Internally it is calling servlet, the meaning of that. Or else if you want debug it also, if people have doubt means, then I will delete also this one. If I'm deleting means again you people have, but I have commented this part. By seeing that, you clearly will come to know that, okay. And comment register as well, okay. Control X, register servlet, one servlet, second servlet, all servlet. I don't want to use of web.xml file for configuration. I want to use only annotations, okay. What is the second servlet? Register servlet URL pattern is slash register. Go to register servlet and on top of class at web servlet and URL pattern equal to give this one. That's it. Internally the container will take care of this one. Next, second servlet. What is the second servlet? URL pattern. This is first slash first one slash second. To right slash second. Let's go on second at web servlet of this URL pattern. You need to use of slash second for second servlet. Right. Now we'll go for first servlet also at web and URL pattern of slash first, right. For third servlet already I have configured slash third, okay. Now let's run it whether it is working as expected or not without XML. Now we'll do of one register, okay. Let me them ready and some at gmail.com, okay. Click on register. Registration is successful, okay. And next is mready and mready. Now click on register. We'll see whether it is coming to welcome page or not. See, welcome page is coming. Let's change the some details. Just I'm changing it to password is one is adding, then it will not allow because username and password is wrong. Password is wrong. See, invalid username and password. That means that everything is working through annotation also by using web servlet with URL annotation also it is working without configuring in the web.xml file. Is it clear guys this one? So
Yes, sir.
instead of writing all this configuration code, it is simply we need to add up one annotation that is called at web servlet. Whatever the URL pattern that we are configuring in the web.xml file, simply we are adding that in the URL pattern with that value. Simply internally container will take care of that one. Right? Is it clear guys this one? Is it clear
Yes,
guys?
sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah. Someone is asking some doubt, please. No? Now. Now we will go for Maven. Now we'll go for Maven. How to install Maven? Through Maven, we'll see same project. Okay, login, everything is there right here. Registration is there, login is there, validation is there. Okay, everything is there. Through request dispatcher is there, forwarding request, including request, everything is there. So we will do the same example by using Maven. After installation, through Maven, we'll see this example. Okay, now let's see that. Now, how to configure Maven? Maven configuration. Now, first we need to download the Maven. Okay, how to download means we need to take this URL. I have given the document clearly for this Maven installation. Google or else directly just open this one and come down, click on binary zip archive. So same I have given in the document. See that? So I have given some, I have highlighted that. Okay, you need to download that. Once it is downloaded, once it is downloaded, I have downloaded, so I'll show you in my laptop. So Apache, where is that? Apache Tomcat. Yeah, see that it is of the zip file is came. Okay, same. Once it is downloaded, then just to extract it, extract here. Okay, just extract here, click on that. Let me, or else let me delete it and do extract here. It will extract everything and inside, go inside this folder and copy this folder. Copy this, inside this some files are there. Okay, copy this folder and go to C drive and program files and paste it here. Paste it here. It is, I have pasted here. It is coming here. I have pasted in the C program files. I have pasted this one. Once it is done, then we need to configure the path of Maven. Right. So for that, I have given up one more step. I have copied here. See, once downloaded, unzip the file and copy the folder in C program files directory. Okay. Now next one. So configure Maven home in environment variables. In environment variables means how to open that means, now open the, click on here and search for environment. So it will show any edit system environment variables. Okay, click on home page and then do that. So in advanced tab, go to environment variables. Go to environment variables. Inside this open as part of under system variables, under system variables, select, see the path. Okay, see the path and double click on that. Double click on that. Okay, after that we need to go to C drive and Apache, wherever you copied that, go to inside that folder, go to inside bin and copy this path. Okay, and go to environment variables, click on new and add that value. Click on new, add that value. Okay, now for me already it is there, so I don't want this again. Okay, now click on OK. After adding that in the class path, we need to set Maven home as well. Maven home as well. Just to come back one step before. Okay, come to program files, go inside Apache Maven folder, copy this path. Okay, copy this path. Come to system variables and click on add and Maven underscore home, give one name, variable name, and copy that value and click on OK. Already I have configured, so I am cancelling it. Okay, if you want you can see mine. This is mine. Okay, already I have configured. Once it is configured, then go to command prompt and verify whether it is installed or not. See, it will show like Apache Maven 3.8.6 is installed. For this, some Java is required. What is the Java version it is using? 1.8.0202 it is using of Java version. Okay, this is for installation. This is for installation of this is for installation of Maven. Okay, same steps I have given here. Under system variables, click on new and enter Maven directory. Okay, same thing I have given in the steps, guys. So once path variable is open the path variable and add of this path until bin and click on OK. Both I have given. Okay, after that you can see that you can verify the command prompt and verify that version, that is of configuration of Maven. Okay, guys, is it clear, guys, how to install that?
Yes,
I
sir.
have given step by step screenshots also. Okay, go to download from this URL and just I have given step by step how to install it. Okay, Maven. After that, we'll start creating of Maven project. We'll start creating of Maven project. Let's open. Let's open the Eclipse. Let's open the Eclipse. Now let's see. Now what we need to do, till now we are creating object, sorry, till now we are creating project by using dynamic web project, right or not? Open file, new. Till now we are clicking on this dynamic web project, right? Now we don't want that. Now that is the not the way of creating for Maven web project. For that what we need to do, click on Maven project, click on Maven project. Okay, now after just for time being leave it as it is. Okay, anyhow we'll see multiple times this Maven project, I'm telling. Now click on next. Okay, and for timing use archetype as a quick start. Okay, later we'll see for web app one more is there, that we'll see later. For time being you should use as a quick start project. Click on next. com.ibc. Com.ibc means it is like a package name. It is a package. Just I assume like a it is one package. Okay. Group ID means, and artifact ID means it is of project name. Okay. Web Maven. Hero, Web Maven project. Okay, and use of 0.1 version, and this is not required. Last remove of this extra package part and click on and click on project, finish, or click on finish. Next let's go and see, there is one more way is also there, that we'll see later. Okay, see that web Maven project is created. By default it is taking off 1.5 version. Let me change it to different Java 8 version. Okay, now it is changed to Java 8. Now this is a structure for web app. Okay, this is structure for a web app. Now, now we'll see of now we'll see we don't have anything, right? Now let's create one servlet. Let's create one control N servlet. Till now we are creating by using class. Now there is a name itself is called servlet. Okay, click on servlet, and here see that it is saying where it is. Now I want to create and servlet. Why it is go to source folder web hyphen maven hyphen project. Okay, select source folder must be available to path upload path. Second, second. I'll do of one more maven. Let me 1 second. Create a yeah, I think this one we should do web maven proj. Okay, let's do this. Project name is sorry, this is the project name. Control X com.ibc. This is of war we need to select compulsory, not jar. It is a web application. Okay, and rest of the things is leave it only artifact id, sorry, group id, artifact id, and select the packaging as war. It is a web application, and click on finish. Now let's see. No issue. If anything is error also there, doesn't matter. src main. Yeah, we got it. Now what we will do is remove off this one. Okay, guys, let me create it again. Okay, let me create it for you people again. So here let's go to new, create maven project, select this and click on next, and give, it will give the structure. Okay, com.ibc, and give that project name. Okay, project maven. Okay, select as package is var. Okay, and click on finish. Now it is created. Okay, now there are some errors is there, don't worry, we will figure out them. Okay, now as part of this, as part of maven, this is a main important pom.xml file, plain old plain object model. Okay, so every configuration for maven will do in pom.xml file. Okay, before where we are doing in web.xml file, right? So now the configuration file what we will do here is in pom.xml file we'll configure all the dependencies. Okay, everything. Now don't worry, this error will go soon, we'll see that. Now let's create of one servlet. Okay, servlet. See that now the project structure came as correct, right? Now give the package name is com.ibc. Okay, Now give the name of the servlet. Let's say login servlet. Okay, login servlet. I want to give. Click on next. Click on next. Normally URL pattern we are writing right in the web.xml file. Here it is saying URL mapping. Click on this. You want URL mapping, you want to save or you want to change something. Let's say change it to just simply slash login. Okay, now click on next. Okay, it is selecting the methods. It is selecting which methods you want. Do get method, do post method, you want these methods or not. So I'm selecting default do get and do post methods will come, so I'm finishing that. Let's see that this all code is generated. We no need to write anything, right or not, guys? So this is best compared to previous or not,
Yes, sir.
guys? Compare before we are writing everything, right? Creating of everything we are writing, but in this case only we are giving creating class itself. It is giving of most of the code, right or not? Our responsibility is only to segregate the code and then write our actions. Okay. Now it is giving of error. It is giving error, right? So now it is imported, but the jar file is not identified. But the jar file of this classes is not there. So for that, before what we are doing, directly we are copying. Before we are copied this servlet-api.jar in the project lib folders, right or not? In project lib folders, we have copy pasted, right or not? Let's go and see. Here we copy pasted normally, right? In all other cases it is there. Now if want, we can go and see if normally that's what we do in case of dynamic web project cases. See, it is there. Now in case of maven projects, we will not do that one. Okay, in case of maven we'll do second. In pom.xml file, we will configure that. In pom.xml file, it will download that. We don't need to download from anywhere. It will download from Maven repository. It will download from internet and then it will keep inside our system. Okay, we don't need to do that. Let's do that. Okay, now open the other web.xml file. How I will explain this one, guys. Let's wait a minute. Yeah, now go to our project, go to our pom.xml file, inside project, and copy paste this one. So what I have copy pasted means, so one is dependency section. So I want of servlet-api.jar. I want servlet-api.jar. I am telling to the Maven. Okay, please go and download from this repository. Please go and download from this repository. Okay, from Maven repository. Please go and download it. It is not my work. That's what I'm telling. Okay, so after that I want to compile my code. I want to Maven itself is a build tool. Okay, Maven itself is a build tool. Another latest one is Gradle. Before we are doing is by using ant tool we did it. Now we came to Maven. Okay, so we need to tell to Maven, right, just please compile my code. So for that we need to give some plugins. We need to give some plugins in the build form.xml file. Like let's see, build. Okay, I want to do the plugins. Under plugins, if any many plugins is there means we can add up one more. Okay, like that there is a plugins inside that plugin. Okay, so group id, this is for Maven compiler. This is for Maven compiler. Okay, so what is the compiler that we have seen? Let's see. 3.8.6. Let's keep it 6. And I want to configure, I want to compile my source code and target everything is on based on Java 1.8. Okay, this is what the meaning of build. For building our Maven project by using Maven compiler with 3.8.6 version of Maven with the source code of Java version is 1.8. Okay, now let's something I missed or what? Now after this, let's wait and see. Now click on project, go to Maven, go to Maven and do update project. Select the first project which we want and do it. Okay, after that let's wait. Next, login servlet, that is of at web servlet of URL pattern equal to slash login. Okay, this is my login page and I want to add my JSPs. Before we have web content, right? Now we have web app. Okay, web app. Now we have web app. See that all is there. Before also we have seen it is generated. Okay, now let's see login.html, copy paste of login.html of previous one. Let's see, writing will take time, so I am copy pasting of for one inside web app. Okay, inside web app I have configured. Let's leave it. Now right click on this. Now we need to let's run as Maven build. Click on Maven build. Do compile. Do compile. Run it. Some error. Let's go for 3.8.0, which is previous version. No issue. Now okay, 3.8.6 is causing some issue. Now no issue. Now let's Maven update project do first. Okay, after that the errors is gone. Now let's do, either you can do Maven compile or do Maven install also. Do Maven install is also fine. Okay, one error. Let's see what is the error. So it is asking of rather than JDK. No compiler is provided in this environment, perhaps running on JRE rather than JDK. Okay. Now let's see any other configuration that I missed here. So I think we are good. Let me Maven build. So file it is causing of some issues. Let's see. Now it's time. Build is success. Now let's see. Now let's run as run on server. Okay. Now Tomcat 9 is same. Now click on next. Click on finish. In web.xml file. See, it is Maven project. Maven project. See, project Maven. It is now running. Our project is started, right or not? It started in Maven. Through Maven I have started it. Okay, now if I'm clicking on this, no page, because still I have not added, right? Now I have added only login servlet, that's it, and I didn't write any code here. Okay, just write some simple code, and then after that we'll copy paste of that. ln of welcome to web project. Okay, something. Now let's restart it. Now let's we'll do one build clean package and run it. It will generate one war file. It will generate one war file for us. Okay, this is for our testing purpose. This is normally for testing whether it is generating war file or not. Okay, now let's run it. Run on server. Click on next. Oh, login dot page. It contains of what is it contains? Maybe it contains of some post, right? Yeah, post. Do we have post? I think I added in the get only, not post, guys. Right? See, I have not added in do post. Oh, do post. Yeah, good, no issue. So here it is internally calling do post. Let's see. I didn't do any changes. What it is happening inside? It is calling. It will call do post only. Internally, it is calling of do get again. Okay. Now let's see. It should work. Now let's enter. Uh, what is that? Something will add. Nothing doesn't matter. Anything will log in it. See, welcome to Maven web project. That means that our servlet is executed. Do get method. Internally, do get is called by do post here. See that? I thought of it is not done. So already they have added as part of do post. They are calling do get. Okay. Now, what we will do? We will copy paste all our files here, and then we will test it. Okay, guys, is it clear till now? No, as part of Maven, you need to do some multiple things, guys. Okay, not like a simple web project. So here it is like some commands is required to build, package, clean, everything. Everything is like it will show like right click and normal use of run as right before. Now under Maven, you can see some update project. Okay, and these things sometimes it is required. Whenever you want to update the project means compulsory we need to do this update projects. Okay, if some any errors is coming for resolving of them, we need to do that. Okay, now before we will not see for other applications these options we will not see Maven build, Maven clean, Maven install, Maven test, all those things we will not see. If you want to run Maven project, then only you will see these options extra. Okay, for building of your application, just do of Maven build. Okay, and do here compile. Okay, for compiling. Okay, now it will compile our code. It will compile our code. Now if you want to do install, then it will do internally both, doesn't matter. We can use of even Maven install is also fine. We can do Maven install is also fine. Internally it will download all the required jars. Okay, now after that The running is same as like others. Run on server. Okay. Now let's copy paste of remove this and copy pasting of request dispatcher project. Go to Java resources, src and stop it. Now all the files copy it. Okay. Now go to here and now come to web content, web.xml file, all those things copy paste it. Go to remove of this and inside web app copy paste it. Now what we'll do, just to refresh it. Now maven, go to maven project, update the project. Okay, and do maven install. Maven failure, no JRE. Let's wait. Do run as maven clean. Run as maven build clean and package. See, it is downloaded some war file and it is generated our project war file. Okay, now start running the project. Now run on server, click on next, click on finish. What happened? Localhost has encountered problem with multiple errors. Let's see what errors is there. Go to Windows, show view problems. One error is got it. Some error is came. System cannot specify the path of meta inf. Let me Maven project run as Maven update, do update. Yeah, update is done. Now run it. Now what is our existing data? Now let's go and see of our existing data, employee data. As part of employee data class, it has Sai 123 and Rakesh and Sai 123. It should give successful. It is giving welcome page. Okay, now we'll go and click on register. Okay, Ram. Let me try with Ram. Ram. gmail.com. Click on register. Registration is successful. Okay, now Ram and Ram. Just now let's see with the new user, it is succeeding the welcome page. Now if I am changing to some password, it will go to invalid username and password. Right, now we'll go to one more that is called welcome page, right? Welcome.html. It will go to Facebook page. Facebook, it is of redirect through Maven. Okay, it is redirecting through Maven. Now first servlet and second servlet. Okay. Now for that, what is the uh, let me see that what is the web app index page. Yeah, index page. Now let's see index.html. Now Ramana, it will go for welcome to IPC Ramana. Okay, is it clear, guys? In the welcome page, maybe I have done something first here. In the second first servlet, I have done of it is causing of second servlet, and it is going to second servlet and then giving of go to second servlet, welcome to IBC with the name whatever we have given, right or not? Test. Welcome to IBC test. Yeah, it is working as expected. Guys, I think today is bit lengthy. Maybe you people have. Hello.
Yes, sir.
So guys, today's maybe it is a bit lengthy session. So please go through the video and then practice it, guys. I'll give all these projects whatever I have done from you guys. So you also people try to do the same thing at least. At least do same. Whether it is error or whatever it is, at least do the same thing. Is it okay,
Okay,
guys?
sir. Okay, sir.
Whether at least error coming also, it doesn't matter. Okay, at least later you will rectify that. At least you start practicing it, the web applications. Okay, till now is different. From now onwards it is different. The practicing is, it will be different compared to till now. Core Java means it is very simple. Okay, from advanced Java onwards, even small error is coming also, we can't proceed further. Okay, please practice it. Even errors also will come, we will rectify it. At least somewhere should start, right? Please practice it. Okay, guys, I'll share this document, and along with that I will give these projects in the zip format, guys. Okay,
Okay, sir.
just please practice it. Okay, yeah, that's all for today's class, guys. I think today is the first time we are taking this much time.